let me just speak from my own personal experience. Before I came to Princeton, I had built a mortgage company from scratch, gone out, raised the money, built the team, hired the people, built the culture, did all the stuff. And so people were really surprised that I decided to come work at Princeton, which barely existed at the time I came here, and to work for a CEO that had no mortgage experience. And it was pretty simple for me. I knew that I'd become a better person and a better version of myself as a leader if I spent more time with Rich. It was really as simple as that. I met the guy, and he was younger than me. He was smarter than me. He had read all these different books, and he had a bunch of skills that I knew I didn't have at the time. And I knew that and I'm really good at this. Like if I spend time with somebody or I go work at a place, like I can learn and pick up what everybody else is doing and steal it all and make it mine. And so I was like, wow, I was like, that guy will make me better. And so I'm willing to work for him because he's going to make me better. And conversely, then, if I wanted to continue to be worthy of him spending that time with me, right, then there needed to be some ways in which I was making him better, right? Because again, he's also only going to be as good as the top 5 people he's spending time with. So what can I do? What value do I bring to that relationship? What are the books I can read or the skills that I have or the experience I have that I can add to our relationship so that he also feels like he's benefiting from that relationship so that I can get more time with him and learn faster and continue to grow? And so you mentioned that people pick their friends this way, but the answer is they don't. Most of us pick our friends very accidentally. And especially men, I feel like it's really more like a right space, right time connection thing. Like it's like funny, like I see women be more strategic with how they pick their friends in a way that like makes sense or lifts them up or gets them into a certain thing. And I mean that with respect. They're smarter about it than we are. Men, it's just like, well, that guy belches the way I belch, and so now we're a partnership, right? Like it can be that silly sometimes, but you're right about the approach, which is if you're a loan officer out there right now, and you're like, first of all, I need to get better. Great. That's like if you can say those things out loud to yourself, you're 90% of the way there. How do I want to do it? I want to surround myself with people better than me. Okay. Well, what's your value proposition to them? Right? What are you bringing to that relationship that's going to make that person who's better than you also want to spend time with you? Because otherwise you're a leech. Right? If you're just like, hey, I want to have a bunch of friends that are better than me so I can be better, it's like, well, cool, now you're leeching off of them, and that's not going to work. What you actually need to do is find people that are better than you in ways where you want to improve, but you also want to be doing the work on yourself, maybe in your areas of strength, maybe in the things that you do better than everybody else right now, so you can continue to provide that value to those people and make them better in their lives. Right? And so that way it's reciprocal, and that's how you're going to continue to improve those relationships. And so the best dynamics of people that work together are where they're both pushing each other all the time in terms of getting better and learning from each other and helping each other grow and bringing the things that they bring to the table. And so if I'm a loan officer out there right now and I'm like, hey, I want to get better, well, the first thing is I want to go, and this doesn't always have to be reciprocal, by the way, in the employee-employer relationship, although I do think it's a good thing to try to add value to the people that you work for as well. But for those loan officers, you need to be working with people right now that you can learn from. You need to be surrounding yourself with people that you can grow with and that are interested in growing also, and that are bringing that vibe or that energy to their workplace every day, which is, I'm not a finished product. It's always scary when people are like, I'm just trying to work out the last 5 years of my career. Well, that's not very inspiring, and I'm not saying there's not a place for somebody here that's like that, but I will say it's like, hey, that's okay, by the way, but you need to be trying to get better through the finish line if you want to work here, right? This is a place for people hey, you got 5 years left? Awesome. How hungry are you to get better than you were 5 years ago? The answer is very great, right? But if you're limping into the finish line, that's not gonna be the best vibe for us, right? And so I think we've created a community here. And I think loan officers should be looking for a community wherever they are of people who, it's like, regardless of how much success they've had, whether they were a $200 million loan officer last year or a $2 million loan officer, they're obsessed with trying to get better this year. And then all of a sudden you're surrounding yourself with people who are all trying to get better that you can learn from. And that's the environment that you should be looking for right now.